Welcome to Extra Minutes, the official podcast of West Texas FC. Sponsored by Case Corporate. All right, everyone, welcome to Extra Minutes, the official West Texas FC podcast brought to you by Case Corporate Housing. I am Luke McDonald, this is Adam Reed, and this is the voice of West Texas FC, Brandon Luisi, all the way from Peoria.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us, man.
Oh, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah,
it's been a fun time.
Yeah, so we are here at Tall City. It is currently halftime at Laredo versus West Texas FC, and Laredo is unfortunately up 1-0 right now. And
somehow.
Yeah, so we decided to go ahead and record this now. We're also going to talk about the Brownsville game that happened on Thursday. So why don't we start with that game? Because, you know, this is a little fresh. It's a little bumming me out. But
got to exercise some demons, get to some hope.
So let's exercise demons from Thursday.
Yes.
So Brownsville, we ended up being a tie 2-2. So Brandon, what was the game like from kind of your perspective?
I mean, talk about a first half, right? We had, in all technicality, 3 goals scored, 2 called back for offside, so a little bit of an unlucky bounce, you could say, for West Texas FC. But I feel that we controlled the half. Second half as well. You know, coming out to that 2-1 lead, especially for West Texas FC, controlling the possession a lot and controlling the pace of the game a lot. And it's the 96th minute. Brownsville just was able to squeak that draw in, but still, it's points on the road for West Texas FC, which are always important and always hard to do.
Yeah, it is a point, and it's weird. We were talking earlier about how it was a tie that felt like a loss.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
so Adam,
absolutely.
why did it feel that way?
Well, it felt like I have never watched a game, I feel like, where we end in a draw, right? But it felt like we were dominating the whole time until the end, and it's like, wait, how are we freaking tied? And as I kind of jokingly said, it almost felt like we were playing 11 against 12 at times, where it's just like, I don't know. I mean, the ref saw something. I don't know what he saw, but it hurt us more than once, again and again.
Let's call it opinion-based and bar bias.
That's absolutely true.
Right.
I think it goes a little past that, personally, but I'm also biased.
Yeah.
But it is a fact that 2 goals of ours were called offside.
Yes.
Were called back, and they were tight. And the end of the game, we were expecting 4 minutes of extra time. They score in, what was it, the 97th?
95-20 was the timestamp that they scored. The 96 is what we could
Right. So there were a couple of things that just left you with a sour taste in your mouth. Yeah. But all that being said, there were 2, at least that come to mind, clear-cut, open net opportunities for West Texas FC, and we just didn't close the game.
So close.
And we could have.
Yeah.
We could have.
And to your point, I had looked over at my wife as we were, here at Tall City Brew, and I said, 2 won't be enough. 2 won't be enough. We need a third.
Right. Yeah.
Insurance goals are key in soccer, especially getting that third to put the game to rest.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we had the opportunities, just couldn't take advantage of them.
Right.
I think we'd be a little reminiscing to not mention Alex Aitken.
Yeah.
What a game he had.
Man.
I mean,
He
you
was
think
busy.
about the 3-1 loss that he had at Denton, bouncing back and having a fantastic game on Thursday, making some key quality saves to keep the lead for all the way up until that 96th minute.
Yeah.
There were a couple great saves.
Absolutely.
Unreal, and I think him and Sekanina both, we are so strong at the back as far as the keeper goes.
That's very true.
And I think our forwards too. I thought the 2 goals in that game were the 2 best goals I've seen from last season or this season.
Calla.
Cuidado, ¡ay, qué buena pelota! ¡Gol! ¡Y vámonos! Se marca el primero.
Empezó muy rápido este partido.
¡Epa! Te encargo, le enseña el dulce. Viene el segundo, viene el segundo, viene el segundo.
And so speaking of not putting things away, we're down right now at Laredo. It looks like we're about to start the second half. So quickly, let's just talk about this game. Brandon, where do you think it's at right now as we're kicking off the second half right now?
And not to discredit Brownsville, right? But we know Laredo is a very strong team. Last year, they had a proven result, obviously making the playoffs as well. This year, has a great record so far. Came out with a goal. West Texas took a little bit to respond. However, we had an opportunity off the post. We had free kicks that have made into the box, just haven't been able to find it in the back of the net. We need a strong, energetic start here in the second half to equalize and at least get a draw on the road. Can't settle for anything less than a draw in a 10-game season.
I'll say this Laredo team is like a military unit. They are so well organized. I mean, if you watch when they're in defense, it's a perfect block, real low, really defensively tight. And then as soon as they get possession of the ball, it's like everyone swaps and they're in a whole new formation, equally perfectly organized, but just a totally different shape. And I think the key from where I sit, at least right now, is we've got to hit them when they're in transition from one of those to the other, when it's still open at the back. And we've got the speed and we've got the guys who can really dribble past that last defender. We just have to take advantage of it. So, Adam, what do you think is the key for the rest of this game?
I mean, we just got to finish. I mean, it's the same almost from Brownsville. There's opportunities there. We find those little creases. We found the opportunity to get a good shot. We just haven't been able to actually put it into the net yet. And I mean, gosh, that bar just needs to move over an inch and we have a goal. I mean, it was so close.
All right, guys. Well, let's get to the second half. Vamos.
Vamos.
Here we go.
We got this.
Well, if you're a big enough fan to be listening to this podcast, you're probably a big enough fan to have watched the game yourself. And so you already know how things went. But I do want to kind of walk you through second half thoughts and then what's to coming up. Second half of the Laredo game largely felt like the first. Both teams making great plays on offensive and defensive sides. You kind of felt like at any moment the game could really break open either way. And Laredo just stayed steady and didn't do anything to really put themselves in a bad spot. West Texas FC had an unfortunate offsides call again that would have potentially tied the game. We had a breakaway that looked like it could be the moment to finally get back into the game, but offsides called there, and that kind of swung the momentum. Ultimately, though, it really was Laredo who put the game away, and largely thanks to a sneaky backside goal created off of the throw-in. And from there on, it felt like we just could not get the ball in the goal, though we had opportunities, though we had some pretty shots on goal. Credit to their goalkeeper also for a great game. But credit to our guys as well. We never gave up. We never looked like we didn't belong on that field. It felt like either team could win, and it just was Laredo's night. And it wasn't our day. We, on this podcast and the fans, will still stand beside our team and our team's assessment that our team can hang with anyone in this league. We are just stuck in an unfortunate rut of away games where things just haven't really gone our way, and we have had opportunities that we just haven't capitalized on. And so hopefully we can kind of turn that around and right the ship as we go against Fort Worth Vaqueros on Saturday, June 15th. That game will be shown at a watch party again at Tall City Brewery. I highly recommend, if you haven't made it out to one of those, come out Saturday. It's a lot of fun. Great food provided by food trucks, incredible beer provided by Tall City Brewery. And so make sure you make it out there on June 15th. And then the real good news is that after that game, we get to finally build some momentum at home as we close out the regular season with 4 home games starting June 20th. And I cannot stress enough home field advantage matters. And I think if we, as the fans, show up and show our appreciation, give them some energy, I think we can close out this season with some wins and put ourselves in a good spot for the playoffs. And so make sure you show up for that and support our guys.
Calla.
Cuidado, ¡ay, qué buena pelota! ¡Gol! ¡Y vámonos! Se marca el primero.
Empezó muy rápido este partido.
¡Epa! Está en cargo, le enseña el Dulce. Viene el segundo, viene el segundo, viene el segundo.